Sydney rain has finally cleared after weeks and weeks. There's no excuse for me watching this. You should be out enjoying it or mowing your lawn. But hey, I'm Roscoe and welcome back to Amazing EV. And during that rain, 6 weeks it was, we took that time while it was raining to do a massive spring clean of Amazing EV, our dedicated used EV marketplace. And we had some problems, and look, we're not going to go into them again here, well documented. But look, we were head down, arse up during that time. And the great news is we're back up and running, bigger and better than ever. So today we're going to jump in and have a look at some of the incredible listings we've got, a couple of sales that we've had already in the last week, plus take a look at the overall used car market in Australia, focusing on some of the data from the used EV market because it's very intriguing, and one thing's for sure, it's growing fast. And so here it is, the new and improved Amazing EV used EV marketplace. And look, we're excited. We put a lot of work into this. It's easy to navigate. There's more information for buyers and sellers. There's more ways to search, more cars to find, and for sellers, more ways to sell your car faster. But as we've said before, listing on Amazing EV is just the start. We're happy to work with you to create photos, to create video, to promote it across all sorts of social media. Just like a high-end real estate advertisement, we want to do more to help you sell your car faster. So take a closer look. There's way more choice. The photos look better. There's way more data and it's easy to search. And of course, all the information we have to both buy and sell a used EV, from preparing your car for sale to photographs to video, it's all there. Don't take our word for it. Take a look yourself. And of course, the main thing a marketplace like this has got to offer is the opportunity to sell faster. So we'll do anything. My commitment to you is we'll do anything to help you sell faster. Let me know if there's anything we can do to help. Text me, call me, contact me in the details below. Couldn't be a better time. Spring has sprung. You can see blossoms on the trees already. We've gone from winter to spring in 1 week here in Sydney, and it is beautiful. You can just smell it in the air. And with that, it's car selling time. Springtime, the lead up to Christmas. Everyone's out and about with real estate. Same with cars. People are thinking about selling because the conditions are better. People are out and about. And if you're thinking about selling, look, it's a great time to just push the button and get on with it. We know it's not easy. In fact, we know it's a pain in the ass sometimes. Paying listing fees. So we're going to do everything we possibly can to help. And the time is right now. We encourage you, get out there and give it a go. If you're just testing the market at the moment, we've got tools, valuation, price assessment tools, which you can use to give you an idea. But there are plenty of cars coming onto the market now, and it is competitive. You'll find out if you've got the right price, and the market will tell you if you've got the right price. We're not going to push you one way or another into a pricing decision. The market will let you know. But if you're thinking about it and you want to have a chat, more than happy to help you with a price guide. Still a popular sale on the new car market, even after 2 or 3 years. But on the used EV market, how much do you think it's worth? The time is right. Spring has sprung, the blossoms are out, and people are starting to sell cars. And if in the past, about now, you've just about had enough here at the 3-minute mark, and you say, hey, that's enough of Roscoe today, hang in there because we're going to have a look at some data from the used EV market. Put it into context with the rest of the used car market. Why it's so important, how big is it, how it's growing, and in which direction it's growing. And in fact, in the context of the overall used car market in Australia, it's just a tiny pimple on the back of an elephant at the moment. And the elephant's about 2.1 million cars a year. There's about 1.1 million new cars sell every year in Australia, and the used car market's about double that. That's cars just under 10 years old or less, right? So it's not the oldie ones, but more contemporary cars. And just as a matter of interest, the average age of a used car in Australia is about 11 or 12 years, a lot less than what people might think. And we get our used car data from a company called AutoGrab, who prepare a monthly report for the AADA, the Australian Automotive Dealers Association, who collect all the numbers. They represent all the used car dealers in Australia as a collective. They study it, they analyse it, they have been for years. This is not just an EV thing. AutoGrab are picking up this data by skimming it legally from all the websites across Australia that sell cars. It's not our data. It's not Amazing EV data. It's coming from all the sales markets across Australia. But what they have done is carve out a really nice little niche of EV statistics that we can look at and drill down on, which are publicly available. These reports come out monthly, and then they do 6 monthly and annual summaries as well. First 6-month report of 2025. Diving straight into the top-selling used EV makes here in Australia for the first half of 2025. No surprise that Tesla's number one, right? They make up probably a third of the 300,000 pure EVs on the road here in Australia. And once again, just to refine, we're looking at pure EVs only. We're not looking at hybrids in this sample. But perhaps more surprisingly, BMW is number two. BMW I call the quiet achiever of the EV world. 25% of their new car sales are EVs, pure EVs, and they've been at it for a while, so not surprising they're number two in terms of used EVs. Number 3 is MG. Number 4, Mercedes-Benz, Kia, Volvo, BYD further down the list just at the moment. Perhaps you can infer from that already that BYD owners are a bit more loyal and committed, but we'll wait and see what the rest of the numbers say. And no surprise, the biggest selling used EV in Australia for the first half of 2025, once again, is the Tesla Model 3. It could be 70 or 80,000 on the road here in Australia. Love them or hate them, the Tesla Model 3 is still the biggest selling single model here in Australia. Look, it probably makes up close to half the used EV market just at the moment. But things are going to change, and if you're allergic to Elon like Mr. Amazing's become, you've got plenty of choice now. MG4s also make up the top 3 or 4, BMW, BYD at 03, and of course the perennial Nissan Leaf still ticks on. And there's a lot more choice coming through with over 100 models available here in Australia at the moment. What do the rest of all these numbers mean? I mean, we're going to start using some of these terms to describe the used EV market, because once we start getting some consistent metrics, really important for me to pass on some information about things like residual value, days to sell, average sale for an EV is on different models. All those sorts of things are going to be really important information for people looking to sell. So we're going to start tracking this information in a lot more detail. The residual value, or just value of a car, percentage of the value, new car value that a car is over 1, 2, and 3 years after new. It's very important, and there's been a lot of publicity about how it's much lower for EVs than any other cars. Residual values have flattened out in the last 6 months. They're not dropping as fast as they were a couple of years ago, albeit from some pretty high levels when the cars were first introduced. There is a bit of light at the end of the RV tunnel as far as we're concerned. We'll keep you up to date. And of course, weighted average days to sell, the time it takes to sell a car once it's listed. Clearly, the shorter the better on this one. And as you can see from the chart, if you thought things were slow, not just in EV sales, but the economy in general, this was a good indicator, because in March, April 2025, days to sell for 1-year-old EVs really shot up compared to the same period last year. 2 to 3-year-old cars fared a bit better, but look, it was a tough time for the car market, used car market in general. And one of the things I put that down to is there was just an incredible number of new EVs were launched between December 2024 and March, April of 2025. Suddenly the buyers had a plethora to choose from of new EVs. Prices were coming down just as quick as the cars were being released. 55 got you a very nice car. You could argue that what was the point in buying a 45, 50 grand used EV when there's plenty of great deals for just a fraction more if you're financing at the 55 mark. I can understand that, but once again, we've got over that hurdle and things have just settled down nicely again, and the market's kicked on for the last couple of months and looks a lot more promising. Difference between the used EV market and the used car market in general is there's a lot more history, a lot more knowledge about particular makes and models and how they're going to fare. Used EVs, it's a bit of an unknown territory still, but it'll settle itself down. In the future, we're going to start looking at the market health of the used EV market, and that's something that they look at, particularly overseas in the UK and Auto Trader over there. It's the supply versus demand ratio, so the number of cars for sale versus the actual number being sold. Here, we've got details about the cars on offer and the number being sold, and at the moment, there's far more cars on offer than being sold. Okay, but enough details, enough data and enough numbers, right? Let's dive into the virtual showroom and just show you what's been going on. Let's have a look at some real cars and some real action, because there's a couple of great sales that we've had from listings in the last week or so. Really encouraging. Come on, let's go and have a look at the virtual showroom. So let's jump in the virtual showroom, because already within a week of listing, we've had a couple of sales. We relaunched only about a week ago. New site, new look, great features. A couple of new listings, a Tesla Model S. Sometimes they're a bit slower to sell. This one was brilliantly priced, and of course it had lifetime supercharging. So sold within a week. Suddenly it was there, talked to the owner, suddenly it was gone, sold. Great result. And also a Tesla Model Y. Already again with the new ones coming up. Plenty that are trading with Tesla. Keen owners, 2022 models are selling at mid-40s now. This beautiful blue one came and went within a week as well. So already we've had a couple of great results, but still plenty here. So let me show you a couple of others, including this one, which could be Australia's cheapest Tesla Model 3 now. Come on, bring it on in the comments. I'm sure there's cheaper ones in the auctions. I'm sure the dealers have wholesale cheaper ones, but this one, and we're looking at retail pricing, don't forget, just retail pricing. This one at just over $25,000 could now be for a 2019 US-built standard range Tesla Model 3, 160,000 Ks, it lives in Perth. It's had some slight damage, but fully repaired by authorized Tesla dealers. Perfect condition now. Just over 25,000, and still plenty of life left in this one. So these are starting to get down to real used car prices now. No doubt the sweet spot for us for used cars is somewhere between 25 and maybe 30,000, 20 to 30,000. This one's right in the middle of that. And now you're starting to see some real good pricing on some Teslas. That's no doubt about that. Speaking of cheap cars, we also think we might have the cheapest EV for sale in Australia as well. Take a look at this one. So this one's part of EV motoring history. It's the Mitsubishi i-MiEV. 2012, the good old girl, she's still going. She's got 100,000 Ks on the clock. She's got 150 Ks of range still, been well maintained, bits and scratches, a bit of wear and tear, but an EV, a bit of history, classic i-MiEV for 9,000. The only catch maybe is that it is in Alex Springs, and if you're in Darwin or Adelaide, the owner is more than happy to facilitate transport. So, or take a trip, get out to the Alice and drive it back, go on an EV adventure. But this is what we think is Australia's cheapest EV right at the moment. And the luxury and few Mercedes lovers, we got this EQA for 55,000. Once again, this is like brand new. It's done almost 30,000 Ks, 2023 model, great for Uber. If you love Mercedes and you love luxury, this is a fantastic car. It's a beautiful EV. 440 Ks of range. This is in brand new condition. Take a look at it. Check this out at Amazing EV, because you can go Mercedes and you can get a very reasonable price Mercedes for the price of a Tesla these days. So if you're looking to sell your used EV, or know someone who is, or you're looking to buy one, there's going to be some fantastic EVs at amazingev.com.au, our dedicated used EV market. Stay tuned for another update next week, and we'll bring you a whole lot more, because they're coming thick and fast. It's springtime. Spring has sprung, and it's time to sell an EV. I'm Roscoe. We'll see you next time.